So you want a sign that it's manifesting. Well, maybe this video is a sign. Maybe. So today, I'm going to share with you some surefire signs that your dream is manifesting. Now, if you are excited to watch today's video, please give it a thumbs up right now, and let's go ahead and jump on into the video. The first sign I'd like to share with you that your dream is manifesting is what I call the click, click, click phenomenon. This is something I noticed pretty early when I started learning about the law of attraction, and it holds true, which is that when I'm on the precipice of manifesting something, there's kind of this click, click, click. There's this clicking into place that occurs where there's this rapid succession of acceleration where things just start lining up. And it happens pretty quickly. For instance, one of the things that I wanted to manifest a few years ago was a home in the area that I now live in. I wanted to live in a nice home in the current place that I live. And when this house manifested, it definitely had the click, click, click phenomenon attached to it. My husband and I were out looking for homes, and it was like Goldilocks and the three realtors. So we walked into a few different developments in the area, and the realtors at the first two houses were like really dull and not that engaging and didn't seem to know much about the developments. And I had kind of this feeling of, this one's not the right one. But on the third development, we ended up meeting a realtor, and it was like there was a spark behind his eyes, and it just felt like there was a click. It clicked into place. And we started talking to him and found out that he had a home that was very much like what we wanted to buy. It was in our price range. It was to the specifications of what we wanted. And as we started moving down the path, everything just seemed to line up. We put our house up for market. It was sold almost immediately. The first people that walked through the house decided to buy it. We got as much money as we wanted for it. We were able to line up a rental property very quickly while we were waiting for this house to be finished building. And as we moved towards the finish line of this house, it was just everything seemed to move forward very, very quickly, very, very easily. Everything was just click, 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 to the point where we got exactly the house that we wanted in precisely the neighborhood that we wanted, surrounded by a bunch of people who are now very close friends. And it all just click, 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 click. You may see this phenomenon if you suddenly get a new job that you've wanted. It all just lines up really quick. Or maybe you meet somebody and it turns into a really wonderful romance. It all just click, 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 click. So when you're seeing this rapid succession of steps being taken towards your dream very quickly, very easily, where it just lines up with the perfect timing, the perfect timing, the perfect timing, that's a great sign that your dream is manifesting. If you're not seeing the click, click, click phenomenon in the thing that you want, something I would highly recommend is jumping ship from what isn't working. Okay, so for example, like that story I gave you, my husband and I were out shopping for homes. And again, it was like Goldilocks and the three realtors. The first two realtors, the developments that we went to, were totally off. Okay, now if I was really hell bent on trying to make a house happen, I would have stuck through it and talked to those realtors for a long time, hemmed and hawed, looked over the properties. But when you notice that it's not working, that it's not clicking, get out. Okay, that's a sign that it's time to move on. Don't hold on. If it isn't clicking, abandon. Move on to the next. When you feel it, move forward. But when you don't, that's a sign that this right here isn't the right door. Maybe it's not the right person. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's not the right strategy, but there's something about it that isn't clicking. Don't move forward with things that aren't clicking, okay? When it clicks, that means you're onto something that's going to help you accelerate your manifestation quickly. Just a very quick reminder that today my Manifesting Mastery course is closing So if you are interested in signing up for that course, please make sure to check out the link in the description because again, it's closing today. Ooh, this is a good one. The second sign that your dream is manifesting like right now manifesting, is that you will have a blasé kind of carefree attitude about it. When we're too attached or when we're projecting too much resistance, we're not very blasé. Okay, we like need it to happen. We're like stressed out about, is it going to happen? Is it going to work out? Is she going to call me? Are they going to offer me the job? But when your dream is imminent, you'll find that you have a very blasé attitude. Kind of this carefree, well, you know, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, keeping your cool kind of attitude. So like a really great example of this that most people can relate to is like that cool guy who gets all the chicks, you know? Like he can just pick up girls and it's no big deal because he isn't too concerned about whether or not he gets the number. He's very blasé about it, you know? So when he talks to the girls, he has a very carefree attitude. He isn't projecting, I need you, this has to work out. Rather, just a very carefree kind of whatever, you like me, you don't kind of attitude. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out content like this every single week, and I'd really appreciate it if you came along for the ride. For my third, I always do like the numbers. 1, 2. What's that all about? I'm big on hands. I don't know if you've noticed that. Big on hands. So, you know, for my third sign here, feeling inspired. Feeling inspired and acting in inspiration. But not necessarily in relationship to your dream. Okay, so if you're feeling suddenly inspired and you're just all in on something, that's a huge sign something's about to manifest. And it may be something completely unrelated to what you're inspired with. And that's an important thing to mention here. So let me give you an example. I mentioned earlier that one of the things that I've manifested consciously was the home that I currently live in. And when we moved in here, we were suddenly surrounded by neighbors, okay, that we became very close friends with. And so early in moving in here, I suddenly became very inspired to become very social. You know, I was very interested in going out with my new friends, having them over, hosting events, going to events, and feeling very called into that kind of an activity. Okay, so that became something I was just kind of all into for a window of time. And suddenly during that time period, my income shot way up. I wasn't focusing more on work. I wasn't trying to drive more business or anything like that. I was simply really focused over here, inspired with what was going well. And suddenly something that I wanted to happen, which was increasing my income, manifested out of nowhere. A lot of times what people are trying to do with the law of attraction is they're trying to figure out, am I taking inspired action with this dream? Okay. And it is helpful to take inspired action with your dream. It really is. But inspired action is good no matter where it's located. Okay, so if you suddenly find yourself called into doing something as silly as, let's say, scrapbooking, you know, or maybe you're learning how to perfect your hamburger recipe, it could be something that innocuous that isn't particularly related to a big dream that you have, but you suddenly feel very called, very motivated, very driven, and you're just going with it. That's a huge sign a big dream is about to manifest. If you're suddenly called into focusing on something and getting really inspired and really into it, you will drop resistance naturally. The resistance will just go away because you're in that state of flow and you're in that state of inspiration. By contrast, if you're not inspired at all, nothing good's gonna happen. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you that, but I know from experience, like, when you're really lethargic, you don't feel like doing anything, you're just kind of complaining and lounging around, it's like nothing but garbage starts manifesting around you because what you're putting out is what you get back on a vibrational level. But when you're really inspired, great stuff just starts flowing in. And again, the inspiration doesn't necessarily have to be about your current dream. In fact, it can be really helpful if it isn't about your current dream, because you may be projecting a lot of resistance about your current dream. And so something that could be very useful if you're not feeling inspired right now, like if this sign is just like, I'm not feeling inspired at all, think about, what would be the most interesting thing for me right now to look into? Not something I got to get anything out of, not something I have to necessarily learn to better myself or to improve money or to improve my health. But, like what's something that's just kind of on my bucket list of something I've always wanted to learn or always wanted to do. And whichever one kind of highlights for you as, oh, that one sounds like fun, just go do it. And please do remember that my Manifesting Mastery course is closing today. This is a step-by-step manifesting training program designed for people who are either beginners to the law of attraction or who are having spotty and inconsistent results. And while the course does close today, it is a downloadable course. So as long as you sign up today, you will get all of the downloads and you can work at them at your own pace. To learn more about this Manifesting Mastery course or to go ahead and sign up now, go ahead and look below in the description for a link. Thanks so much for watching today's video. And have a great day. Bye-bye.